All right, so it is today, May 1st, and that may not mean a lot to everybody. That's fine. It's May Day. What does that mean? I don't know. Something about fertility and like maypoles and whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is recommitting. So every year, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, right? You come up with everything that you want to do for your New Year's resolutions. And I've come up with a lot, and I've kept a lot. Last year I swore off soda, did pretty good with it. Turns out it didn't really do much. So yay, soda. But I decided that this year I want to create. I feel like I am a consumer. I just, whatever comes my way, right? I sit down and I keep seeing that my, Apple will give you that screen time report and it'll say, oh, your screen time is this and this. I'm actually kind of ashamed of it, so I'm not going to share it here if you don't mind. Yeah, it was bad. But it was all consuming. Like, I'm not creating anything. Nothing is getting given to society. It's all just me sitting there, fat blob, waste of space. Sorry if that offends anyone. But I'm not putting out anything, right? So this year I'm going to commit to create. I've had a few people say, man, I would love to see a vlog of yours, or I would love to see you put out some type of channel. Here's the thing I'm going to say right up front. I'm not great at editing. I'd love to take the time to go through a video and edit, and maybe I can do that. I need some classes. I need somebody to point it out to me and say, here's how you do it, and here's how you do it better. And it doesn't take you that long. But for now, it's just gonna be a shotgun approach, right? I'm gonna just throw all of the Jello at the wall and see what sticks. So what does that mean? What am I gonna create? Well, there's a lot of things I could create. I'm trying to become a chaplain right now. There's a lot of stuff that I've been learning with class. Trying to earn my degree, my Master's of Divinity, which, if you think about it, sounds kind of presumptuous, don't you think? But I'd love to share some things there. I've got a lot of stuff as far as testimony of the gospel, which might not appeal to a lot of people, which is fine by me, because I'd like to share a lot of other stuff too. I used to be into improv comedy back in the day, back when I was in school, and I'd love to do some more stuff like that. I'd love to create short videos with the kids. I got 5 kids. You think they're not creative? Yeah, we're gonna definitely do some fun stuff with that. But my commitment, because I feel like if you don't have a date on it, is gonna be, I'm gonna try to put out something every day. And I get it. Oh, you're gonna be a big time YouTube influencer. Not true. Probably not anyway. But let me tell you an experience real quick, and I'll tell you why I kind of maybe think about this. I want to make as much of a record of myself so that people will know who I was. Not that it matters, right? Because I've seen a couple things, okay? So I've seen suicides, right? Where someone decides to end their own life, and then you see people come out of the woodworks, and there's people that were so grateful for this person and so broken up that they made that decision because, and same thing for me, right? Like, my dad passed away in 2015. I miss him almost every day still. And it wasn't necessarily because he was a great dad all the time, but because he was my dad. And I get a lot of people don't have that kind of relationship, and it wasn't a great relationship. It was very tumultuous a lot of the times at the end, but there's not a day that goes by that I don't hear a song, or I don't, for the love of Pete, I've figured out I sneeze like my dad, and I sneeze often, and I think of Dad often. But, so I want to try to put down a record as to who I am. Now, I probably won't talk about how I sneeze. Maybe, who knows? I guess I just did. The other thing is that I had the opportunity to go to the temple for a name. If you want to know who he was, his name is William Joseph Todesek. And he is buried in Henrico, Virginia. I didn't know anything about this dude, but he's my cousin from a little ways back. He died in 1926, I want to say. He was born in 1904, so he died at a very young age. But I went and I did his endowment, and I'd had the card since 2018, and I figured, you know what, might as well. I'm in the area. I'm going to go hunt this guy down and go see if I can find his headstone. So I found his headstone, and it was completely covered in lichen, and it was very difficult to read. I knew it was him because of proximity to where he's buried to his mom, and his two brothers as well. Same type of thing. Their headstones are in bad shape. I feel like if we don't try to make an effort to be memorable, we will be forgotten. And I felt kind of a bit of sorrow because here's a guy that had 22 years of his life. I think he served in the military. I've been trying to find stuff about him, and it's been kind of difficult because all the things that you can kind of pick up are from like the census and like death certificates and marriage certificates and things like that. I'd love to hear something about who he was and what he did. I think he might have been in the military, but I can't be sure. I found one photo and it looks like he was in a military uniform. So I want to leave my kids something, my grandkids something, my great-grandkids, and onward, maybe some type of weird cousin that goes looking for my grave sometime down the road that hopefully isn't covered in lichen. But anyways, yeah, this is my goal, and I understand maybe sometimes starting this kind of stuff up is like doing a small business, right? Like what, 5% of small businesses fail in the first year? Cool. But you never know till you try. So I'm going to try. And I will be happy to take all of you along for the ride. That being said, two things. If there is somebody that wants to take the raw footage from what I'm doing, I will be happy to talk to you about getting together with me. And I've got photos of the headstone and stuff like that. If you want to try to intersperse these kind of things into the video, I'll be happy to pay you. But we got to talk about that. And the second thing is, and it sounds dumb, right? Smash that like and subscribe button. But having studied some social media marketing and things like that, in order for this to end up multiple places, that's kind of what you want to do. So I would encourage you to do so. And again, like I said, I'm going to try to put out something daily for the next year, and hopefully it doesn't wear me right down and I don't want to do it anymore, but hopefully maybe some good creative and funny things and touching things come out of it. But anyways, there's 8 minutes of me just rambling on, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. Alrighty. Peace out.